Hey everybody, hopefully YouTube sends out some of my notifications. Ah, I just want to get away from this whole situation and let's get focused on what we've been talking about. Um, if you come into the chat, please. Um, hey Nick, what's going on? I saw you live earlier and you are right. Everybody's talking about the same thing and we need to just go ahead and move forward and let whatever's going to happen. But I wanted to talk about CPS and the corruption of CPS. Also, I watched your other video, and I'm telling you, you are putting out bangers. I mean bangers. You are absolutely amazing. You always come with truth. You don't lie. You don't sugarcoat. You don't say things just to hype people up. You just give straight facts. And I appreciate you, for mentoring me and showing me the ropes. And I just wanted to say that really quick to make sure that people know it's okay, to give respect and give credit to the people that, take time out to help you even when they have things going on in their own circle. So again, thank you. In Slime, we trust. You are amazing. Okay, so I took a few notes um, when I was doing my research, and I'll see if I could bring it forward. Hopefully, nothing goes haywire. So let me see. There it goes. So let me like kind of turn this music down so that I can get to what I was talking about. Yeah, unlike others, you're right. Absolutely, unlike others. 'Cause you got people that be capping all day, be lying and making up stuff. You know, I know I'm gonna get on a subject of CPS, but I got on other people's panel, and every time I had an opinion or I made a comment about something, I noticed that this individual person always got a friend, always knows somebody that's going through whatever my comment is. And I was thinking, like, wow, talking about somebody, wanting to know it all, it's crazy. So, but it's been an honor to pass on what I know down to you. And if you ever need any help, oh, see, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Look at this, y'all. Hold on, let me go back to it. Look, look at this, y'all. You don't get this. And his channel is way bigger than mine, and yet he still reaches back to the little channel and tries to usher me in, like pretty much there's enough money out here for everybody, so why try to grab it all for yourself? That's the mentality that I feel he has. And whoever sees this and you may just brush past my page. If you see in Slime We Trust News, I recommend strongly that if you want the latest updated news, you want the truth, straight up facts, then that's where you need to be at. That's exactly where you need to be at. What's up, Quincy? What's up, Quincy? Sorry about that. I hit the thing too fast. See, look at that. Look at that. Giving out information that these other people won't even give out. They won't even take the time to give you this kind of information. You may email them and ask them, hey, how do you do this and how do you do that? They don't want to tell you, they just ignore you. But look at him. See, that's what I'm saying. This is the place to go to, y'all. He keep it a, I'm going to say his word, he keep it a thou wow. I like that word. He keep it a thou wow. Wow. See? Look at all this information I'm getting for free. Look at this. Not afraid to share information, you guys. Not afraid at all to share information. And you got people that got hundreds of thousands of followers and will not even crack a second to even help you or even say anything to you. They just keep it to themselves. See? Look at this. You guys, this is what I call a real YouTuber and a real person that want to help. See? See, look at it. Look at that. I'm just gonna let y'all see this for a minute. No matter how much he typed, I got plenty of time. I'm just showing you. Look at there. Look at there. So you guys, maybe one day he'll take the time for those that need help growing your channel, and he'll do a class on how to use these different applications so that you can get more subscribers. He doesn't have a problem sharing at all. Look at that. More information. Look at that. Look at that, y'all. For real. Look at this, y'all. Information. And if your channel grows bigger than the next person, the person that helped you, reach back. Reach back and help other people. You know, when I had my other channel, I think I kind of surpassed him a little bit, but I didn't know what the heck to do. I didn't know how to navigate. I didn't know anything. And now that I know, if I was ever, which I doubt I would, surpass him, I would definitely know how to reach back and pull him right along with me. This is the person that's been helping me all along, reaching back, helping me. I can email him, hey, I don't know how to do this. Hey, I don't know how to do that. Hey, how do I do this? What program? What do I do with this? What do I do with that? And sometimes he may not answer me for a couple days because he has a life too. But guarantee you, I'm gonna open up my email account and I'm gonna see his message with giving me facts and information on how to do this and what to do. You don't get this from most people. They won't give you anything. Look at that. He's telling you right here. Good topics and good thumbnails. Right. He was the one that told me my last account passed him up. He was the one that told me I had not a clue. I had not a clue. If I still had that account today, he probably would have still been pushing me. Even if I was above him, he still would have been pushing me. See? And then he said you got to be careful with your topic name and see where you can see where your topic name, your topic title ranks at. Look at this, y'all. Look, people, you getting a free lesson. If you get this lesson and you work this, You better take your butt over to Insuline We Trust News for real. Take your behind over there and tell him, even if he's doing a live stream, give him a testimonial and let him know. I went to Together's page and you was on there and you was giving us information on how to grow our channel and how to do things for our channel, and I got it from you. See? Look, look, y'all, pay attention. Give this man his props. For real, for real. Give this man his props. We're getting a lesson real quick. I know I said I'm gonna talk about CPS. I will. But right now you guys are being taught. And one day we're gonna get him to teach a class, step by step how to do it. So that you guys can get some more knowledge and understanding. And that's one of the topics on how to fix an iPhone 12. Y'all need to get this. Make sure you go over there. If you're not subscribed to his channel, go over there and subscribe. If you want to get real, straight facts, just straight up facts. Because, it's not about Kanika Jenkins, but I was being tossed and turned like a barrel of hay, and I found his channel and everything that he said thus far. Anything else that I hear, I just kind of not listen to it because I know that they're going to add extras to it. He's looking for this young lady to have closure to this case and it to be solved. He's not making money. He don't ask for donations. He doesn't ask. If you want to, that's your business. But he don't ask you like everybody else. Oh, before I drop this information on you that I have, you gotta send me a cash app for what? I don't get that from this channel. And Quincy can testify to it. I appreciate you so much, Teach. That's what I call him, Teach. Okay, you guys. Thank you so much to Nick from Insuline We Trust giving a lesson. That was a quick 5 minute lesson, you guys. And if you missed it, you better go back and rewatch this video to get those facts again. Have any questions? Hit up Nick from Insuline We Trust News. Okay, go to the About section and there should be an email there. But don't be coming as no troll because you will get yourself told. All right, because we ain't got time for no trolls. It's about love here. So let me get to the information at hand. I had already went over, some of this information in a previous video, but I think what I want to do is do a recap on the information that I already gave. So hold on, let me see if Nick wrote something else because I might have missed something. Hold on. Okay, so you see it here. Okay, so I'm gonna do a recap about the CPS because I do have some people on my channel that are actually dealing with CPS as we speak. So they were saying how CPS plots against you to remove your kids illegally. One of the things that CPS does is they come to your door, and they come to your door with the police, and they tell you that you have to let them in. They have a right to speak to your children, and they're coming in because of a call that came through. That call is not enough to have them come in and snatch your children. So, with that being said, CPS cannot take your children without a court order warrant, okay, that has been signed by a judge unless there is a life threatening situation, which they call exigent. And you'll see that word a lot in their paperwork. And exigent means if it's like a life or death situation that the child is in, i.e., if that child's parents are on, substances, and when you look through the house, the child opens the door and has been left alone, abandoned by itself, or if that child has abuse marks all over its body, real actual abuse marks. So those are the only reasons that I believe that are exigent moments, okay? So when some judges place children in foster care, it's supposed to be a safe place for the children. However, there are CPS workers that are not doing a good job at vetting and doing a background check on these foster parents and members in the family living with them in that home, as well as friends. So you have some people that have family members, maybe an uncle, a nephew, a cousin, and if you have a female foster child, or if you have like a male foster child, it could be a male or a female person that could assault that child. And I hope that I could use that word because now they're trying to pick every little word that you say. But in that family, the kids in foster care are at a higher rate of being assaulted in all manners than they are to be at their home. The worst thing that could possibly happen at the home, it will be a higher range in foster care, believe it or not. And some foster care parents have criminal records that are stemming from, I'm just going to read because I can't say the first word, but molestation, physical abuse, domestic violence, drugs. Some of the foster parents are or have been drug dealers, have a mental illness. And just because they have a mental illness, you guys, don't necessarily mean that they will harm the kids. It means that they have a mental illness to the capacity that they are not capable of taking care of the child unless they are medication compliant. And once they become medication compliant, then they can think on a regular basis, with the help. Some of them are repeat offenders, meaning some could be violent criminals, but they have repeated, cases. They could be embezzlers. Some foster parents have prostitution. Some of them are pedophiles. Some are habitual liars. And lying is bad too because it depends on what you are doing to that child. And when they ask you, you continue to lie about it. So some of them are lazy. They want to use that child's money, to fund their lifestyle. But from my information, my understanding, excuse me, you are supposed to already have your own income when you are getting a child because that's one of the things they ask you. Do you have your own income? Do you work? If you're married, does your husband work? They may even ask how much money comes through the door to make sure that if they're giving you money, that you're not taking care of yourself and your family off of those funds and not taking care of the children. Poor work history, the person can't hold down a job, so they can use that as a source of their own income. So they're really serious about this because I watch a lot of court cases on YouTube when it comes to CPS, and the judge is trying to make sure that the child is not going to be used as a token. Criminal history, they continue to have, in and out of jail, or the husband is in and out of jail for various acts. They want to make sure that those kids are not exposed to that. Some are gang members. They want to make sure that, with gang members, there's like, 'cause all types of stuff happens when people are involved in gangs. If they're out there, being active in the gang world, one of the kids could be hurt because that person decides they want to continue to be a gangbanger, and they may come to the house and do a drive-by or something. They want to make sure that that kid is not in harm's way. And you have some that are pimps. That's how you end up getting these kids caught up in sex trafficking and human trafficking, because they're looking for new, fresh meat, not to be rude, in order to make money and make a profit off of these children. Hi, Davia. How you doing, sweetie? How you doing? Um, Also, you have some foster parents that are stone cold alcoholics. You guys, give me a second. You might hear some noise. I'm trying to adjust my desk where it'll be in front of me, because this bad boy is getting hot on my legs. Sorry about that, you guys. So, like I said, you know how some alcoholics can be. They can become um, aggressive. They can become abusive. They can be neglectful. Not wanting to pay bills, but they want to use the money to get drunk. Some have prior child endangerment cases themselves. So that's a problem right there to me. Some of them have no experience, have not been trained in any manner or any capacity at all whatsoever. So now let's talk about one that I did not write down. And I know people are aware. If they're not aware, you might want to go back and look at some of my older videos, where there are two young boys, I believe 2 and 3 or 3 and 4 years old. Their birth names were Classic and Sincere Pettis, but when they were adopted out by their foster parents, their names were changed to um, oh God, how did I forget? You guys, I apologize. Orrin and Orson West. Okay, so with that being said, Orrin, now I'm gonna get on the CPS side of it before I get into it. CPS side of it is, when the story first broke, everybody had their opinion about the mother. They were saying that she was horrible. She didn't do this. She didn't do that. And thank you. She didn't do this and she didn't do that. And so what the CPS worker wrote down about this woman, everybody believed exactly what she was saying. So people went on to YouTube and they began to just really trash this woman. And they said some of the most heinous things about this woman. And come to find out um, that none of it was true. And so the thing that I want to say is, just because someone is involved with CPS does not mean that that person is telling the truth on their paperwork, because the CPS worker is trying to get the kids adopted out, and when they do that, they get a piece of the pie, shall I say, okay, along with the family. So as of when I read, I believe it was as of 2018. I could be wrong, but as of 2018, you guys may be blown away for these facts. The fact of the matter is, over 500,000 foster children as of today are unaccounted for. They don't know where 500,000 of those kids are as of today. And the numbers could be higher as we speak right now, okay? So that's basically like 4 years ago. So the numbers probably have increased from 4 years ago. So with that being said, time when the parents, before the foster parents, the West family adopted the children, okay, they were with another set of foster parents. And when they were with another set of foster parents, the mother had a relationship with the foster parents. And because the social worker did not like the mother, and here's the key thing, if the social worker does not like you, she can jot down anything about you that she want to, and to make it more difficult for you to get your children back, okay? So that's number one. That's why I'm saying all this to say don't be so quick to judge, because we judge things and we don't know all the facts. We just hear the first bit, and then we just all go buck wild and throw up our own assumptions. So the mother was complying with everything that was required of her. So skip on to them being transferred and given to the West family. Now she has to go deal with the West family, and from her statements, the West family, when she would come to visit her boys, she had to constantly ask them, if you could please cut my boy's hair. Could you please? Why do they look so thin? Why are they crying so hard when I leave? So right there, she went to the social worker and told the social worker what was going on. But because you tell a social worker something does not mean that that social worker is going to actually listen to you. They're going to continue to go on with their own beliefs, okay? So they did an interview with the mother, and they came to find out, if the mother was so bad, then why, when they did a television interview, why was the other mother there, in support of the mother, when she was talking about, her children and how they're missing, and she feels as though they did something to the children. Also, only first three tag letter, you wasn't surrounded. So, wait a minute, I'm missing something. You're telling me to put what? Also, only first three tags matter. You wanted surround topic CPS tag is hashtag CPS Child Protective Services. Okay. Yeah, okay, I got it. I got it. So the sorry about that. The foster parent that was with the mother prior was there to support her, so she was not as bad as the social worker had panned her out to be. Had that been the case, then she would have been standing there by herself during this interview. Now, what happens is, a lot of times, what these parents did, I'm gonna cut it short. These parents, and we all saw through the bull crap. These parents, children, their older children, admitted to the parents, and the parents, I guess, admitted to, taking the lives of these children, and then calling the police 3 months after the kids had been deceased already. So we have to wait and see. There was another story where there was a foster child placed into a home, and the parents, instead of telling, the courts and CPS that, the kid, something happened to the kid, they had made the decision of their own to bury those children or that kid in their backyard. So I don't understand why they're not doing a better job. Okay, CPS social workers come to your home with no warrant, no court order, which is against the Constitution. It's against your Fourth Amendment. It's against your Sixth Amendment. It's against your 14th Amendment. And also, you have the right to plead the Fifth Amendment, okay? So I just wanted to run by that real quick. I'm just going through it real quick to get to the meat of it. Most of the time, CPS will come because of false, excessive, and very bold allegations that were made. And because the parents think because there's nothing that has been done, they haven't done anything wrong, they can prove to the social worker that they are innocent and that the allegations are indeed false. So they let the social worker in the house and they trust them. But I'm gonna tell you something. If a social worker come to your door, do not trust them, you guys. Those people are not here. They will pretend that they are your friends. They will put on a happy face. They will do whatever it is to get in that door. But you cannot trust anyone in reality from CPS. I'm telling you. Listen to what I'm saying. You cannot trust them, okay? The parents end up losing everything you let them in and they take your kids. You start losing everything. You start losing money, you start losing friends, you start losing family, and sometimes your job. And the reason why is because people, when it comes to friends and family, people will stop believing in you and that you are innocent of the allegations and the charges. And some people will turn against you, okay? And they will do that. Just like people turned against this woman, Ryan Dean, when the allegations from the CPS worker said that she was such a horrible mother. And now we're starting to see that that was not truly the case. But now we're dealing with two kids that are possibly dead. I'm going to say possibly because we don't have any evidence, we don't have any proof, where the kids' bodies are located. So this can also cost you the life you had prior to the alleged charges that were placed against you. Your time is consumed with classes, testing, counseling, meetings, court appearances, all types of stuff that will consume your time. And then you got a job. They're not going to always understand and they're going to make it as difficult as possible because they may schedule you to do all these things during your work hours, which I think is totally unfair. They should change it and say, okay, if you work during the day, then we can put these things together for you at night. So that way it won't interfere with your income and for you to have a place to live and for your kids to have a place to live once they are returned to your home. Okay. So they're not going to work with you. A lot of social workers will. I'm only talking about the social workers that are against people having their kids returned. I'm not talking about every single social worker. So I don't want people to get in their feelings and be like, oh, not everybody's like that. I know, I 100% know that. I'm talking about the social workers that are corrupt, okay? The whole system is not corrupt. You have some social workers that will go to bat for you and to want to return your children, but there are some people that don't want to. And sometimes it could be someone that you did something to and you have no remembrance of getting into an argument. You have no remembrance. In school we do things to people when we're younger, but we don't think about it anymore. Because we like, okay, we're children. It's a dead ringer. Nothing's gonna come of it. And hopefully that person is doing well. But let's say that person ends up becoming a CPS worker and finds out that you have children, and targets you, okay? Because it has been discovered that a lot of the false calls that are being made to CPS are actually coming from the CPS workers themselves in order for them to have something to do or to get back at somebody that might have done something to them. You know what I'm saying? It could stem from a person that, for instance, it could stem from a person that maybe you broke up with a girlfriend and she's mad and you don't want to take her back, and she'll say, okay, well, guess what? In Salon We Trust Nick. I'm going to call and I'm going to say, yeah, Nick hit his daughter. And it's not true. I saw him, the little girl's name? Yes, her name is Mariah. I saw him hit her. And Nick never put his hands on the daughter. But because that woman made that call, Nick, 5 days later, Nick gets a knock on the door from CPS and he's like, who are you? And it's CPS. And of course, they have the police with them. And you're like, what the hell's going on? And they're like, we need to see Mariah. No, you don't. You stand your ground. No, you don't. You don't need to see Mariah. But if you choose to let them see Mariah, you tell her don't say a uttering word. And you can say, well, we got a call that said that you struck your daughter. And your daughter might say, my dad never hits me. You know, my dad has never hit me. And you tell her, be quiet, don't say anything. Get your camera phone and start recording. and then ask the question again, what did you say? We got an anonymous call that said you hit your daughter, and your daughter says again, my dad never hits me. He never uses physical punishment. He never hits me. And so you tell them, no, you cannot come in. You cannot. You go get you a warrant. If you don't have a warrant, and the police may try to flex his muscles and say, if you don't, we're going to come in and take your child anyway. So if they come in without you saying, I do not consent to you coming in my house, I do not consent to you having conversations with us, go get a warrant, and the police or the social worker just bust in anyway, you now have the greatest lawsuit that you have ever seen in your life, because they came in without your consent. They stole your child, and now they're padding lies against you. So when you go to court and you have all these things on record, and you show the court, don't take your cell phone because they won't let you take your cell phone. So you have a videotape, or not a videotape, like a CD that you burned into a DVD, and you ask your lawyer, make sure that you get a lawyer, because you're going to have 48 hours to get a lawyer. You get your lawyer will take that CD and present it as evidence into the court. And so when the court sees you're at the door, and she says, and you have a perfect video of both police officer and the social worker, and they hear your daughter saying, my dad never hits me. My dad never uses physical violence. My dad has never put his hands on me in any way except for a loving, caring way, to help me do things that needs to be done. And so this social worker and this police is trying to lie. Now I found out that they do have immunity, where if that tape proves that that social worker lied, you have a lawsuit against the police, you have a lawsuit against the social worker, you can sue her personally, her job, you can sue the police department personally, and his job, because they violated your Fourth Amendment right, your Sixth Amendment right, and your 14th Amendment right, and you pled the Fifth Amendment, which is your natural right to do. So now you sitting up here. I read a case where a guy won over. I don't know the exact amount, but they said he won over, and I believe it was well over $150,000 for them violating him and his family in the manner in which they did. It was way well over $150,000. So hold on, I want to read some of these comments. What police are you open doors? They lie and say domestic complaint. Yeah, they can't do that. They can't do that. That's against. So before they leave property, they got check everybody's safe. Yeah, they can't do that. That's in all states. You have a fourth, you have a 14th, and you have a Sixth Amendment right. You have a right to protect your property, paper, and everything that belongs to you. And I'm going to do another video on that because I did one prior. But they cannot come up in your house and just bust your door down. You have to be it has to be an active crime happening at the moment. Then you should have sued, because they can't do that. You have a Fourth Amendment right. That's all over the world. You have a Sixth Amendment right, and you have a 14th Amendment right. So if there is a statute of limitation, so you have to find out what your statute of limitation is. If you have any type of proof that they broke your door down for a complaint of noise or something frivolous, you can sue that officer, because that's proof that he cannot. So since officer opened the door, okay, but if the officer came in uninvited, they cannot do that. That's the thing. People don't know their legal rights. That's what I'm saying. That's why these officers are able to get away with a lot of stuff. They absolutely, and I heard this from lawyers, like real lawyers, that said they had court cases where the officer just came up in their house without their permission, but you have to say loudly, I do not give you consent to come into my house. And if they still come into your house, with that being said, and you told them, right, I understand all that, but still, they violated they violated your rights. If they got a key, if you're saying they got a key from your manager, if it wasn't a life-threatening situation, if it wasn't a domestic abuse situation, and they entered your home, that is a violation against your constitutional rights. I'm telling you. Let me find it for you. Let me find it for you so I can show you. Fourth Amendment. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Let me hold on. Right. Let me hold on 1 second. Okay. It's in small writing. Let me blow it up real quick, and I'm gonna show it to you right now. What I'm saying is 100% factual. I'm not making this up. And if you can show proof, um, you are in the money, because that tells, this is going to tell you the whole story. Hold on a second. That's why I like hold on. Okay. Now listen to what this says. This is the US Constitution. It's the 4th Amendment. It says the right of the people to be secured in their persons, in their houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable search and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue upon probable cause, supported by oath of affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be searched. So what that is saying is, if they did not have a court order warrant to come into your home to search, then you have the right. It don't matter how dirty they are. That's what I'm saying. People keep saying how dirty they are. He violated your rights, and you have a right by the fourth constitutional right, by your Fourth Amendment. That's your Fourth Amendment. So if you can show proof that they broke in, and you get yourself a lawyer on pro bono, and you tell that lawyer, look, this is the get down, this is what happened, and you have a bunch of witnesses against that cop, you make sure that if you do pursue it, when you go to that court, you send a subpoena for that police officer to show up. And then when you get with your lawyer, you tell your lawyer, look, they said it was a noise complaint, but by the time the police came, if it happened this way, I'm just saying, I don't know the particulars, you tell the lawyer, we got quiet, and we understood that, okay, the police were called, and that meant to be quiet. We stayed quiet, but later, or a few minutes later, the police came busting through our door. And that right there, in any court, when the judge see that, he will tell that cop that was a violation against their Fourth Amendment. And you can even tell your lawyer, I'm going up against that Fourth Amendment because I have a right to protect my home and myself. He didn't have a warrant to come into my apartment. You have to have, in all states, I don't care, you got to have a written warrant to come. They say now no knock warrant. I think that's going to be thrown out because it's not a criminal. You're not a convicted criminal. If it's like a convicted criminal, I think they could come in with a no knock warrant. But I'm gonna have to do some more research on that one before I speak too fast. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to speak too fast. But I think that only people that have criminal backgrounds are the ones that don't have to have the no knock warrant. I'm not 1,000% sure, but I think I'm a little bit right on that part. But I may not be right on that. But I'm definitely gonna look that portion up, okay, so that we can find out if there's something that you can do against that, because nobody should just be busting in your house if there's not a crime committed, and that's your constitutional right. With this no knock warrant, that's against your constitutional right. They can't just throw a law up that goes against people's constitutional rights. It's not cool, it's not right, and it's not legal. And just like I wanted to say something else, I found out that if you have not been, if you have not gone to trial, say they come and take your kids, the social worker comes and take your kids from you, and they tell you, oh, we have to get a drug test from you, we have to get a hair follicle sample, we have to do this, then you should tell your lawyer, no, that's unconstitutional. And I'm gonna tell y'all something, y'all may not believe me. The judge has no jurisdiction to tell you that you have to go get a drug test if the case has not even begun. Do not ever in your life, excuse me, you guys, I have to walk away a little bit, but hopefully you can still hear me. Do not ever in your life take a drug test from a CPS worker. Don't ever put yourself in that position, because those tests are inconclusive, and they can say, well, the test came back positive and there's absolutely no drugs. Another case that I read and I studied was, there's a woman, and they said that she had cocaine in her body and that she tested positive for cocaine. And so she went to the doctor immediately after. If they say that you have drugs in your body, immediately that day or the next day, go to your doctor and have blood tests or a hair sample done, and have it in your files. And then you have it presented and give it to you. Tell them to give it to your lawyer. You have to sign a release and have your lawyer get that information. And I would have a drug test done every week up until the point that I actually go to court. And so they said that this lady had crack cocaine in her body. She went to her doctor the very next day. They had an opening appointment. She told them why. They drew her blood, and they did the hair follicle sample. They did everything that she asked them to do. And when she went to court, the social worker said, I know for a fact that she was a drug addict. When they got to court, they chewed that social worker up. She was able to sue because she had no drugs in her system, and the job that she had, they constantly did drug testing, and they were able to subpoena the drug testing that she did for her work. And the drug testing from her work showed that she had absolutely no drugs in her system at all, because they did random testing and they never told them when they were going to test. So the social worker ended up getting in trouble, and I think that she was prosecuted for perjury in the court, which is good. But now they're saying that the social worker has immunity, and so they can say, "Well, it was a typo." No, if you can prove without a shadow of a doubt that this person, because most of the time the corrupt ones, not the good ones, the corrupt ones will have like this what do you call it? They will have this sense of power and control. And so they will end up letting it out and letting it be known that, they feel entitled. I can do what I want to do and there are no consequences. So that does happen, in most cases. So all you have to do is give them enough rope to hang them on their own selves, and eventually they will. And another case, there was a grandmother that wanted to take her grandchildren, and she wanted to adopt them, and the social worker was making it extremely hard for her. So the lawyer, that's a CPS lawyer, and by the way, don't go get you a regular lawyer. If you have to get a lawyer, get you a CPS lawyer that will work pro bono. Because if you go get yourself a regular lawyer, you cannot get mad if you lose the case, because they are not experienced in the juvenile court system. They are not experienced with the codes and regulations when it comes to CPS. So get yourself a CPS lawyer, not a family lawyer, not just a regular lawyer, because they don't know. And once the court system finds out, especially the CPS worker, oh, she's going to eat that lawyer alive. And then you're going to be like, oh, you made me lose my children. No, you should have gotten yourself a CPS worker. And don't get fooled, okay, by these juvenile court lawyers, okay, because I found out by asking a question, how much does it normally cost to get a CPS worker for a juvenile? Anything under $10,000, you're going to lose. And I'm just going to keep it honest. This is what they told me. Anything under $10,000, don't trust it, because CPS lawyers for juveniles are extremely expensive because they have to go into so many details. They have to just go into so much that a regular CPS lawyer probably wouldn't even know. Okay, so please protect yourself at all costs. Don't just go with any CPS lawyer. And if the price is right, is too low, you best believe there's something going on or there's something wrong with that lawyer, because it does cost a heck of a lot to obtain a CPS lawyer for juveniles. Okay, so I just want to make it clear. But back to the story, the grandmother wanted to adopt her grandchildren, and so the CPS worker was against her. So what happened was the lawyer, and I did a video yesterday on the forums and stuff, so you can go back and look at that video. The lawyer was able to question the CPS worker, and they had it all together, and they was ready to give the kids to the foster parents, and it would have been I guess for the foster parents, a beautiful life. And so the lawyer said, well, tell me why you don't think that those children should be returned back to the grandmother. And she scoffed and said, huh, everybody knows that Jamaicans are drug dealers. And she screwed herself, and the judge was blown away. Straight up prejudice and straight up nasty. Everybody knows that the Jamaicans are drug dealers. Not every Jamaican person is a drug dealer, first and foremost. Not every Jamaican person smokes marijuana. Disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? That's disrespectful. That's stereotype, like to the 10th power, whatever that is. That was an ultimate stereotype. And she lost. She straight up lost, and I'm sure he didn't go into detail, but I'm pretty sure she was reprimanded for that outburst that she had. That old lady was shocked that you took me through all this because you believed that I was a drug dealer. I'm an old lady. What am I gonna do? Sitting up here selling dope. What do I look like? You know, the queen pin or something? And I think that was absolutely disrespectful. But you do have those social workers that have preconceived notions and ideas about who you are and what you do. So that a lot of that stuff gets written into your files as well. Okay, so when your child goes into foster care, there is a 95% chance that your child will experience some sort of abuse in one form or another. And that is the craziest part of it all, is that the abuser will probably get away with the crime, and they will move your child out of that home into another home, and that child may still continue to experience some type of abuse. A lot of these foster parents are straight up abusers unless you have a CPS worker that is on their stuff, and they don't have room to abuse these kids. But when you have bad CPS workers, this is where you get those people that mistreat all those children, and there are no repercussions that takes place. You get what I'm saying? And you have some children that are crying out saying that in this home I am I'm being touched, I am being molested, this is happening, they're hitting me, they're not feeding me, all these different things. And the CPS worker don't seem to care when you're supposed to be all about the children, you know? So, and then I'm gonna go ahead with this. It says, how can I get a copy of my CPS files? Okay. I don't know if I got my notes all jumbled up. Okay. So please be patient with me. I was just going quick. What to do when CPS lies? Okay. This is the one that I was talking about. When CPS, you know that they outright lie on you. And if they try to say, oh, it was a typo because they have immunity, you could create a declaration of facts. Okay? The declaration of facts is an official document in which you state the facts of your case. If you are making this in relation to an untruthful caseworker report, it's important to address each and every single lie or misrepresentation one by one. But let me tell you something. Make sure when you do your declaration of facts, you can write it out yourself, but you take it to your lawyer so that your lawyer can properly critique it, okay? Because if you write something out and you make a mistake, if you say, I did not mean to hurt her, or I no, or I did not hurt my child, and you make a mistake because you're writing on your own. You said I did hurt my child instead of saying did not. You have really messed yourself up. That's why you need a lawyer to help you so that you don't make a mistake like that. Because that one little mistake, and you can say all you want. Oh, that was a mistake on my behalf. They don't care nothing about that being a mistake on your behalf. You have just incriminated yourself, and now they're going to take your children away from you. So make sure when you do a declaration, you sit with your lawyer to put these facts together, and they will do the rest of it by looking at it and making sure that there are no mistakes on your paperwork, okay? And if there is a mistake made by the secretary's typing, then you can bring her into court and say, you know what, I made a mistake. The original copy said did not, but I actually wrote did. So that can help you as well because now you have somebody that's in the legal team that has some pull that can say that they actually made the mistake. Okay, keep it brief as possible. They don't want a paragraph. If you write a 30-page essay and if you write one paragraph that's 2 pages long, the judge is going to gloss over it like, I'm not reading this. I'm not going to read this. There's too many. There's too much talking. I need to get to the facts. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. I need that. And there's a chance the judge will not even end up reading the Declaration of Facts if it's so long. You know what I'm saying? So you want to keep it straight to the point. You want to say number one, um, her lie. She said that you stated that you hit your kids. Number one, there was never a conversation of any sort. She never asked me if I hit my kids. That's a fact. She never asked me. Put her name. Miss Williams never asked me at any point in any time, did I strike my kids? That is an untrue fact and an untrue statement. Bam. The judge is like, okay, that's one. Um, when Miss Williams looked at your child's body, there were bruises on your child's body. Huh. Let me see. With Miss Williams is being untruthful. My child does have a bruise, but it is not a bruise. It is a birthmark. There's a birthmark, and that birthmark has been in all pictures since child's birth. And you show proof. Bam. Now Miss Williams starting to look like a fool because you're giving straight facts to all her lies and all her misrepresentations. Miss Williams stated that when she came to your house, you were intoxicated. Okay? Uh, Fact. I do not consume any alcoholic beverage, nor do I smoke, nor do I drink any. We already said that. Nor do I smoke, nor do I use any type of substance. Miss Williams came to my house as I was waking up from a nap. Period. There you go. Now you can show all your blood work. Once she made that there is no alcohol in your system, there was no marijuana in your system, there was nothing in your system that was that was a legal substance, is what I'm saying. So now you have disproven her lies, okay? When Miss Williams came to your house, she noticed that there was a lot of yelling and screaming. Okay, so your TV might have been up a little bit too loud. So what you do is you write the name of the TV show that you had on. You write the scene that she was listening to when she came through the door. So you're giving all your facts. I'm just giving you examples. You have all facts that everything you're debunking, everything that she said. You're debunking. When Miss Williams came to your door, your daughter was screaming. Number one, when you tickle my daughter screams. She has a tendency of screaming when you tickle her. So all these are facts. And so if they want to ask the child, when the lady came, yeah, my mommy was tickling me. And if they want to do an example, you do your example and listen to how your daughter screamed. That's a fact too. So I'm not saying that you may get all that leeway, but you're giving straight facts. I'm just giving you an idea. You know, when Miss Williams came to your house, There were clothes everywhere. Yes, I normally do a full thorough house cleaning where I take everything and have it documented that this is something that you often do, and even have your family vouch for it. Yes, she every Saturday she does a total house sweeping. She takes everything down and she cleans out all the cabinets, so dishes are going to be everywhere but they were clean, you know what I'm saying. And I was on a live feed with my sister when she was cleaning the house. This is something that she normally does. So facts, it's not long, but it's simple and to the point. So you're debunking everything that this person has spoken about you. Okay. Then give like I said, then give simple, accurate statements about your case. When contradicting a statement made by your caseworker, make sure that you address any insinuating circumstances that could cause the caseworker to lie about a situation. No witnesses, a misunderstanding, etc. Like if she say that you didn't have any witnesses there and you do, okay, get your witnesses. Is basically what they're saying, and make sure that any misunderstanding is cleared up. Finally, you must be extremely careful not to make any statements that could incriminate you. You get what I'm saying? Be careful. Don't get an attitude. Don't be nasty. Because I'm gonna tell you something. When you get in that court, you guys, one of the things that people forget, they think that the judge is only looking at the social worker. They think that the only person that's looking, period, is the judge. I mean, yeah, is the judge looking away, but you have other people, other workers, that are sitting in that court watching your body language, watching how you act, watching how you respond, watching how you respond to the social worker. And so if you come up in there with a nasty attitude and you're slumped over like you just don't give a hoot, then that all that stuff they can use that against you. So you have to be extremely careful with your body language and how you're acting when it comes to dealing with the CPS worker and dealing with the courts, because they can hold any little thing against you. Don't be rude and don't act like you don't care. Be there taking notes as well. If you didn't get the notes right during a break, grab your lawyer and ask your lawyer, can you jot down some of their notes? You get what I'm saying? So that will help you to stay ahead of the game. That'll help you stay caught up. In case they ask you a question, you can go back over your question and write down, your answers and stuff. So if they try to trap you up, you've already prepared yourself. So don't get up there and have rely on the lawyer to do everything. When you're going in there, you're fighting for the life of yourself and your kids. So get you a couple of those long yellow notepads. Even if you have to bring 7 of them, bring about 7 or 8 of them. Who cares? Pull them out one by one. Write down day one. Write the time. Keep time like minutes, time, and say at this time this is what she said. At this time, this is what she said. Because they are going to take breaks in between asking questions, and you could write, okay, at this moment it is such and such. At 10:30, she said this. At 10:45, she said this. You could just do all that, and then you could fill in your answers, and then fill in the notes what the what your lawyer has written down. And your lawyer may look like, wow, you're taking good notes. That'll help you because you're staying up to date. Don't depend on your lawyer. You know what I'm saying? He may miss something. If both of you guys are taking notes, then somebody's going to say, hey, did you see this? Did you remember what she said there? Oh, wow. Then you can go back to that. Your lawyer can go back to that statement. It says if you want to, you can also file a statement of objections and corrections. Once you've written down the facts of your case, you might want to take things a step further by filing what is known as a statement of objections and corrections to the report of the social worker, rather than just writing down the facts from your perspective. This document copies the caseworker's report line by line. So that way you can go line by line with redactions or revisions of any false statements, fabrications, or misrepresentations and brackets. Okay, this document generally carries more weight than a simple declaration of facts. As a result, you should usually file this kind of document with the help of an attorney. More than that, we'll talk about more of that later. In any case, a statement of objections and corrections should be extremely thorough and organized. It is not an opportunity to make broad criticisms of your caseworker. Instead, this document should correct each and every lie made in the official report. Okay, so I wrote that down too so that I can look at it later. For more information on creating a statement of objections and corrections to the report of the social worker. So they're going to show us. I got to go back to the site and let the and you know what I mean, so it can be seen how to. I hate when these stupid pop-ups. So it can be seen how to create one. Okay, so it says you may have to plead your case to a judge if CPS wants to remove your child or your children from your custody. Alternatively, if the state is filing criminal charges against you, you'll need an attorney to help prove that CPS lied or misrepresented the original report. So all this stuff, you have to have a CPS worker. You guys don't try to defend yourself because you will kick your own self in the butt later. When CPS accuses you of abuse or neglect, number one, take any accusation very seriously, guys. Okay, that's number one. No matter how absurd or unbelievable the CPS DCFS social worker claims may seem, please understand that the social worker is dead serious and most likely presumes that they most likely believe that you are guilty as accused, even if the social worker doesn't admit that he or she is at your home to take your children. Oftentimes, hold on, that is exactly why they are there. Majority of CPS social workers develop a cynical view of life and assume that you are utterly guilty until you prove that you are not. The opposite of the way the justice system is supposed to operate. Number two, ask what the accusations and charges are. Now, I have a guy on here named Air Force 5, and he said this before I was able to do the research. This is why I did the research on this, because he said you can ask them what your accusations and charges are. Okay, most typically, the CPS DCFS worker wants to keep you from knowing exactly what you have been accused of, sort of keeping themselves on the general fishing expedition. But it is required by state and federal law to tell you the exact details of the accusations at first contact with you. Okay, be very wary though, all right? Do not settle for the vague and general charges called neglect or abuse. Neglect and abuse are broad categories, not the legally required details of the accusations or charges. You are entitled to know the details and specifics of what you are accused of and committing, okay? So make sure you get into details because they will not tell you and they don't want to tell you so that you can be like looking like a dodo bird, but you have a right to know everything that is against you. Okay, so let me continue. Number three, they say as little as possible. In fact, keep your mouth quiet. Okay, keep your mouth quiet. I don't care if you feel that what you can say is so profound that the stars will move and the earth will shake and the waves will roar and all this good old stuff and fluffy teddy bears and all that. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. I don't care how profound and how articulate you are. Keep your lips closed. Like my grandma said, keep your liver lips shut. Okay? In criminal law, it is always strongly suggested that you talk to no one but your attorney. Think about it. Virtually all charges that CPS or DCFS levels against you are criminal charges. And while CPS or DCFS is there only to take your kids, the police can and often will show up later for the parents. Okay. In fact, open your mouth and tell the CPS investigator just enough to make their case. And you can start packing an overnight case as the police will be called by CPS who will be at your door to take you away. Okay? So here you go. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys, that went too fast. I'm trying to educate y'all, so I sure hope that I'm doing a good job and you guys are getting something out of this. All right. For those that want me to talk more about it, off the because you got questions afterward, just shoot me an email. Go to the About Me section on my YouTube page and shoot me an email, okay? Or you can go to cater to you foundation at gmail.com, and it's the letter K, the number 8, the letter T, E, R, the number 2, the letter U, word foundation at gmail.com. Cater to you foundation at gmail.com, okay? So you can reach me there, all right? Sure, it is totally natural that innocent parents who have nothing to hide will want to explain everything to a CPS social worker because such parents would assume that any reasonable person would see that there is nothing wrong going on. But CPS and DCFS social workers are commonly anything but reasonable. They become entrenched in a culture that is ununiformly cynical, all about parents, okay? I mean, about all parents. I apologize for that mistake. Frankly, you are presumed guilty by the majority of CPS and DCF workers, agents, however you want to say it, the exhausted, overworked social workers who just fought the crowded freeways to make it to your home is there on a mission. That mission is most often to find evidence to support what the social worker already believes to be true, that you abused your child just as the neighbor, relative, or anonymous tipster claimed. So please don't say anything, you guys. Some people will listen to what I'm saying, and some people will not. And then they will come back and say, "Oh my God, I need help, baby. Get you a lawyer." Because I'm trying to give you some tips and some information right now that can keep you out of trouble. So if they came and knocked at your door right now, you do not have to open your door. You do not have to let them in, but you will have 48 hours to obtain a so-called pro bono child CPS social worker. I mean CPS lawyer. That's what you want to do. But hold on a second. I have wrote down something. I hope I got it in front of me. So you can contact attorney Vincent Davis, okay? And his number, area code is 888, phone number 888 6582. And you can listen to him on KABC Radio 790. Okay, so like I said, I gave you the number. It is again 888 888 6582. Attorney Vincent Davis. You can call him and you can ask him questions, and his office will gladly talk to you. And if he's not in your area, he will definitely find someone that will help you in the area that you live in. Okay, so this is some information for you, and he's very much aware. His team is fully aware of CPS and the corruption. So I'm going to see if I can reach out to him and see if he will be a guest speaker on my panel. Okay, so um, okay, if you don't talk to them, just as you are always told to never voluntarily talk with the police, if they are accusing you of a crime, you take their power away. They will not be able to use your own admission statements or your very words against you. For example, have you ever spanked your toddler? They'll ask you that question. Do you think there is a good answer to that question? No. The majority of the CPS and DCFS social workers abhor most any form of parental punishment. Okay, so they hate it. They think it's the worst thing in the world that you would spank your children. And I do not personally, I do not agree with spanking children. I don't, because it doesn't say anything. It doesn't do anything, because it can also break their spirit. And I'm not being funny. It can also, and I've seen a kid get spanked before, and that kid was just as sad. It was just a little pop, and that kid put his head down like he was totally, totally ashamed. And that kid became increasingly quiet. So I was like, don't do that. Do you see the reaction after you pop him? Just sit down. If he can understand you, tell him, no, you can't do this. And if he keeps doing it, just tell him, hey, take a time out. Take a time out. Go sit there right there and give him a book and say, look at this book. Distract him. If you sit a kid in the corner with nothing to do, they're going to start fidgeting and moving around. Give them a book. And that will probably capture their attention, more than just like sitting them in the corner with nothing to do. That'll keep them from getting in further trouble. Okay, so number four, the minute you became aware that your family is being investigated, you must find an attorney who has experience in fighting CPS or DCFS. An attorney experienced in CPS and DCFS cases and is court mandatory. Juvenile dependency courts are worlds unto themselves. That's what I'm saying. They are worlds to themselves, and they talk about it too. Your most seasoned and experienced lawyers, when first stepping foot into a juvenile dependency courtroom, are totally dumbstruck as if they stepped into It's a Small World at Disneyland. Most lawyers, even experienced family law attorneys who are not experienced with CPS, DCFS, mistakenly think that it is their job, as it would be in any other court setting, to find out what CPS or DCFS wants and then communicate all the details of their clients. Shockingly, doing exactly that often leads to total disaster and the loss of your children. So that's what I was saying. Don't go get a regular old lawyer. Don't do that, because you will totally, totally screw yourself up. And then you'll be pissed off at the lawyer because your case was not won, but it's your fault because you didn't get the one that's experienced. That's why I say again, for those that didn't hear me the first time, I'm going to repeat his name again. Contact attorney Vincent Davis at 888-888-6582 and ask him if he knows anybody in your town, your state, your city, your area that can help you with your case. Okay? So that's what you can do for yourself. Hold on. For those of you guys don't know, I'm asthmatic, so I had to take a breather real quick, running out of air, oxygen, all that good old stuff. So don't hire just a regular lawyer, and they're telling you this, okay? So some of this stuff I cut and paste so I could get my notes out. Be courageous and polite to the CPS social worker and investigators. Let's face it, when a government investigator without any advance notice knocks insistently on your door, well dressed, looking all official with the county badge, exuding the authority of the government, is well prepared, primed, and ready to level accusations of child abuse or neglect against you, most people would be shocked. If you're human, you'd also be scared too. As government is getting bigger and bigger every year, they are getting more and more powerful and intrusive in the lives of ordinary citizens. We are all a bit nervous and threatened by the power of the state as we witness weekly examples of government power wielding unfairly on investigative TV news programs and in the lives of our own families and friends. So I'm going to stop it right there because I don't want this to be too long or too drug out. I just wanted to bring this information. Hey, what's up, Carol King? What's up? What's up? How you doing? I'm glad to see you over here. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you. Thank you so very much. Yeah, so these are some of the things that I want you guys to be very, very much aware of when it comes to CPS, when it comes to you being accused, when it comes to them knocking at your door and telling you that they have a right to come in, which they do not. I read to you guys your Fourth Amendment right, which states that you have a right, to your home, your privacy. paperwork, your property, your persons, all that good old stuff. And with that being said, don't forget about the 14th Amendment right. Your 14th Amendment right, if they violate that, they can get into trouble. They take kids, don't need to kids, right? They need, yep, yep. You see what she said? She said they take those kids and they don't need to take those kids, and that's true. I'm talking only about the corrupt CPS workers because you have some CPS workers that do want to reunify the family. You know, they do believe in reunification, but you have those social workers that are hell-bound. I mean, we talking about they the devil themselves. You know what I'm saying? They take kids, don't need to. Yep, 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 yep. Yep, they really do. Let me see, I missed that one. Oh no, I didn't. Yeah, they do. They take people, kids. They definitely take your kids. All because, and I said it before, it could be as simple as, like I said, it could be as simple as a guy, like one story. Let me tell you one story I saw, but it was a good story to me. This girl was dating this guy, and he had a daughter. And every time she turned around, this guy was leaving her daughter on, his daughter on her and making her like mommy. Mommy was nowhere in the picture. She was out living her best life. And so she got tired of it. And she saw how rude and how mean, he treated the daughter. So she went to Child Supportive Service, I mean, CPS, and she told them what's going on. And she ended up being able to adopt that little girl, which I thought was an amazing thing that she did. He's pissed off, but like the little girl said, he didn't pay no attention to me. He didn't pay no attention to me at all. You know what I'm saying? Not one lick of attention did he pay to his daughter. So she ended up winning custody of his daughter. So now he's mad. What you mad for? You was out partying. You was out leaving a little girl by herself. And, thank God, the girlfriend came to the house. He forgot that the girlfriend was coming, but she ended up coming to the house, finding out this fool, he forgot. He just walked out the door and left his daughter there. There are some horrible parents out there. There are some absolutely horrible. Hey, Carol, if you can, on your YouTube, I mean, not your YouTube, on your Instagram, if you have one, when I go live and you come in, can you just let people know that I'm live? Like sometimes when you come in, since you came from Nick's page, I'm going to make you a moderator too. So you might see that later on, that I'm going to make you a mod. So anybody that's coming from Nick's page, depending on who you are, I'm going to be making people that come from Nick's page a moderator, because as this channel grows, and I see why Nick has a lot of moderators, because his channel is going to be super huge, and he's going to need all the moderators that he have right now in order to man the whole chat, because you're going to have people that's coming in trying to disrupt, and we're, of course, his moderators, we're going to stop that. We're going to nip that in the butt. So with that being said, yeah, I thank you so much, Carol King. And, I thought there would be more people. YouTube didn't send out my notifications, and I did send it out telling people that I was going to be going live in 2 hours. And then I did 5 minutes as a reminder, and they're still not sending out my notifications. So, I can't wait until I get up there. I'll be pretty much happy. But I am going to be doing another video. I am going to scrap the Nike giveaway, and I'm going to do a cash giveaway for the subscribers. Like my 1,000 subscriber, I'm going to do a cash giveaway. Maybe my 2,000 subscriber, 3,000 subscriber, and I'm gonna probably stop at right there for a while, and then probably, do another one a little bit later. But I don't want people just to join to, get money. And like I said, if somebody becomes like my 1,000 subscriber and they just clicked on, I don't want them to get angry, but I'm gonna have to choose the person that may be the 2099 because they were actually being a part of the live streams. They were making comments and all that good old stuff. I just want to be fair. But in a couple of weeks, not really a couple of weeks, but in a few days, we're going to be doing a giveaway on Nick's channel. He's going to be hosting it. Yeah, I know. We're going to be doing a giveaway. And I'm going to tell Nick if he's not here. If he's here, then hopefully he can hear the rules. If you happen to win one time, you can't win again because I want to give everybody an opportunity to win. I don't want just one person walking away with all the cash. I want to give everybody an opportunity to win. But if the person that won before gets the answer and nobody, absolutely nobody, tries to get the answer, then I might consider giving it to them. But I want to definitely, um, be fair to everyone, and I hope that that makes sense to you. But with that being said, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys with my whole heart. Thank you so, so very much for coming over here to my little old channel. Okay. And don't forget to share, 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 please, so that more people can come in and be a part. And don't forget, Carol, I'm going, and if you see the next live and I have not made you a moderator, please let me know in by going to my about page and hitting me up on my email so that I can make you a moderator, because sometimes when we get off of these things, life happens and we end up going about our day and forgetting, what we were supposed to do. So please, if you don't see it, don't get upset with me. Just remind me and I will go ahead and take care of that. So with that being said, my beautiful, lovely, talented, wonderful, amazing, precious people, don't forget to hit that like button, that post notification bell, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And may God, if you believe in Him, bless you richly. Until we meet again, love you all. Talk to you later. Bye bye.